Hello, guess who's back? Welcome back. Nice to see you. How are we? I haven't filmed in a while because I've been ill on and off since the end of February, which is not fun. And I just, with everything going on, which we'll get into in a bit, I just did not want to be on camera, especially because my voice keeps being weird. I have this lingering cough. I am gonna try doing this video with minimal editing so that I can get it out tomorrow. It is currently March 28th, Saturday. And yeah, let's catch up. If this is the first time that you're seeing me, hi, welcome. So nice to meet you. I am KJ, an aspiring fantasy author who's currently on a writing break, but we'll get into that. Grab your coffee or a cozy drink and let's talk about what has been happening since February. So the last video that I did was a writing blog. I think it was the first 2 weeks that I started my new job, and honestly that was probably not the best idea, but I had a deadline. And I guess the big news is that I did manage to finish draft 2. Yeah, I'm very excited. Draft 2 is currently with the RefPit editors. If you've never heard about RefPit, it's actually called Revise and Resub. Don't quote me on that one. It is a competition where you send your manuscript and your querying materials like a query letter, synopsis, and all that jazz to 3 editors from the panel, and then if you get chosen, there's 2, right? So there's the 10 queries where they choose 10 people to give feedback to anonymously, just as a general tips for everyone. But then at the end they do tell you if one of those is yours, which is really helpful. And it's all free, by the way. It is such a good event. I participated in it last year and it is such a good community builder. I met so many friends through there, writing friends obviously. And the thing is, if you get picked as one of the winners, you get to work with that editor for 6 weeks, all free. And you get a developmental edit and they help you with your query letter and all of that, which obviously is so valuable. So I could not miss it. That was my deadline for draft 2 and I met it. So my draft, it's with people. It's being read. It is very exciting and very daunting, and I told myself that I would have a break after submitting to RefPit. Just yeah, it's been 2 weeks now and it's the longest I have gone without writing, and I'm losing my marbles a little bit, not gonna lie. I have a lot of ideas brewing in my mind, but I am forcing myself to have a break because towards the end of draft 2 and the middle, to be fair, I was feeling a little bit of burnout and I don't want to go into a very deep burnout, so a break it is. Obviously I also started my new job, and then with getting ill and trying to meet this deadline, it's just been a bit hectic, but it's done. Draft 2 is done. Tell me why I'm crying whilst writing the end of this book. It's supposed to be cozy. What is wrong with me? I'm probably the only one that's gonna cry reading this. I don't know. I just really feel the emotions of the scene. It's really in my head. It's like I'm living it. Oh, God. I don't know if it'll I don't know if it'll show on paper, but with time, it's still only a draft too. But yeah, let's get this finished. I can't even speak. Proof that I'm crying like a baby, as usual. I don't know why it's making me so emotional. I have not started to think about what I want to do after Refbit, to be honest. I mean, the chances of getting picked is 1 in however many people submitted to each of the editors. So, not expecting much, but I am using it as an excuse to have a break. And then I'll be sharing that draft with Raquel, my critique partner, and she'll give me some nice feedback because she is awesome. I love working with Raquel. Yeah, she has a YouTube. I'll link her down below. Honestly, I'm really enjoying the break. It's giving me time to think about other ideas and give enough distance from the actual writing process that I think when I come back to the project, it'll be so much better. Like, I'll be able to make it so much better because I've taken this break. Because I cried and I filmed it and I think it's hilarious. And I cried because the ending, I don't know if what I was feeling whilst writing that ending is on the page right now, and someone else that doesn't know the whole story and the whole all the intricate things of the character and the plot and the backstories and stuff. I don't know if it's translating onto the page to the point that a reader will also cry. However, it is a really good bare bones, um, or something that I can really lean into and make it more emotionally fulfilling for the reader, and I am very excited. But yeah, that's my writing update. In terms of reading, I did finish reading Bewitched by Lucy Jane Wood. I don't know if I've talked about it in the last blog, but I think I did. And it was great. It was so cozy. Before I got ill, I started reading the Odyssey as part of my personal curriculum, and I'm enjoying it. The introduction is really long, not gonna lie. I need to really be in the right mind to read it, but I also recently got the Witcherlace. I think it's Witcherlace, Wicker. Anyway, by Annalise Avery. Look how pretty the sprayed edges are, gorgeous. I got this because I used it as one of my comps in the query letter that I did for Refpit, and it only based on what I've read about it, the themes, and honestly I think it'll be a really good comp for my cozy fantasy. But I thought I would get it and I can read it, and then make sure that it is a good comp. So that's in terms of reading. My personal curriculum for February was Greek and Roman mythology, and the one for March that I'm doing is Celtic. And they've both gone so well. I'm fascinated by mythology. I'm doing a mythology each month. And currently, I mean, I'm doing Celtic, but I'm half Scottish. So I wanted to focus on that branch. However, I'm also looking into more of a broad aspect, except for the Celts in Spain, which I think that's April or May. I need to double check. I have not prepared very well, have I? I have been really leaning into my spiritual practice, and I was kind of in a bit of a slump, and I finally gotten out of it. I actually did my own oils. This one is a rose and jasmine, and if you're new here, I am a bit of a pagan. I celebrate the wheel of the year, and I do like doing little witchy things, whatever you want to call it. I just call it my spiritual practice. And I made some oils. I also did a lavender one that I don't have around at the minute, but I'm very excited to explore that more. I really want to make thieves oil in April, but we'll see. We'll see about that. On other updates, my job is going great. So great. I actually love it. I love the people that I work with. The days just pass really quickly. It honestly, it could be 8:30 and I blink and it's 11 a.m. and I just don't know what's happening to time. But yeah, I've been doing really well. Other than being sick, everything else has been going really nicely. If you've been here before, you know that I love journaling, and I've been doing a weekly prompt for shadow work, and I'm currently on week 13, and that's been helping so much. I'm actually shocked about how much I'm enjoying doing that. But I also did a little Q1 and Q2. So I did a Q1 reflection and a Q2 plan. So I thought I would share that. So my Q1 reflections include wins, fails, proud of, what didn't work, and plan of action. For some wins, obviously, finishing draft 2 and submitting it to RefBit, started the new job, and I've been really consistent at waking up early, which I am notoriously bad at because I love my sleep. In terms of fails, my social life has taken a bit of a backseat, not gonna lie, and I've been having a lot of social anxiety. There's been some things happening with some friend groups that making friends as an adult, it's so difficult, and it's not something that a lot of people talk about, or I just haven't seen a lot of people talk about. And yeah, my social anxiety has just been really bad because of some situations, and I've just really taken a step back from my social life, which I don't want. Obviously, I don't want to isolate. My desire and my need for community is really strong. And it's something that I really struggle with for some reason. I don't know, that is something that I'm exploring in my shadow work and in my journaling. I moved around a lot when I was growing up and changed schools a couple times and lived away from the rest of my family. And I always felt a bit like I was the outsider, even though, like, I think that's just my social anxiety thinking that. I don't think there's anything to support those thoughts, but I'm working on it. I stopped going on runs, obviously, because it was really cold and then I kept getting sick. So that's a big fail. What I'm proud of, I have been putting myself out there in terms of writing, which is always really good. What didn't work, obviously, my social anxiety, overthinking, and a lot of spiraling slash isolating myself. My phone in the morning. No, no, it's too much scrolling, and that does not help with my anxiety at all. And then I did neglect my spiritual practice a tiny bit. My plan of action, which I've already started actually, I've been doing this new thing for the mornings where I have a silent morning and I don't put anything on in the background. I don't look at my phone, nothing. So I spend like at least 30 to an hour at silent mornings, looking at my vision board, journaling, and on my way to the train station, I've been putting a video just to listen to with affirmations. And honestly, I don't know why I was not doing this the whole time, but that's the plan for Q2. We're doing that every day. I do want to go to my writers group at least once a month. We do have a writing retreat coming up in April, which I'm very excited about. And I want to make some plans outside of writing with certain family members and certain friends, like just go for a coffee. Like, it doesn't have to do with writing, because writing just is my whole life at the minute. And I just don't think that helps with burnout. And I want to go on at least one run a week, like on the weekend. I've been having a lot of trouble finding time in the morning, especially when it's dark and the clocks are gonna change soon. So yeah, but I want to go on runs on the weekend at least, and I want to intentionally plan and make time for my spiritual practice. Some things that I want to do in the morning, daily, and in the evening. Obviously, we're celebrating the wheel of the year. That will have its own little celebration that I do, but also, like, at least do one thing once a month that intentionally planned ahead, and I know it's coming up, just to make myself feel more present and grounded and connected to myself and the spiritual sides of me. This is very awkward. I don't want to push anything onto anyone, but I want this channel to be a space where everyone is welcome and a place where people can escape to and just chill and be cozy and talk about their journey with writing. But spirituality is such a religion, and spirituality is such a difficult topic to navigate, and I don't want to put anyone off because I want everyone to feel welcomed here. But my spiritual practice does really influence my writing, because, for example, my cozy fantasy, I have put in there a lot of, like, the basics for the magic. It's based on my own spiritual practice, just with a tiny bit of, a bit more fantasy, a bit more, fireballs coming out of your hands. But yeah, just want to be a bit more intentional and be more present, because I have not felt very present. And I don't like it. It makes me so angsty. Anyway, Q2, the main goal is draft 3 of, I nearly said the title, draft 3 of the Cozy Fantasy. I have 2 side quests. One is the writing retreat in April, and then I have been roped into doing a walk for charity with my team at work, which is gonna be in May. So I'm really looking forward to that actually. Things I'm looking forward to, obviously, RefBit winners announcements. I love this event so much. I love the teasers, I love the 10 queries, I love how knowledgeable and how given the editors are with their time and their resources. It is, my respect goes out to them because they're brilliant and it is such a valuable event, community event, competition, whatever you want to call it. I am really looking forward to spring. I mean, spring is already here. We had Ostara a couple of, like, last week, was it? And I am very, very excited. This winter has felt very long and very quick at the same time. I feel like it was shorter to me, obviously, but I'm very, very excited for spring and what this season is gonna bring me, because I feel like winter was very tough mentally and I'm slowly getting out of that, and I am very, very grateful and happy because I don't think I have anything else to say. Let's update my journal. If you are new here, I gamify my habits and my life. So I'll show you in a bit how I've been getting on, and we can see how many levels I've gone up this month. I think February was 2 levels. We'll see. I'll talk about it as I see it. I really can't remember. As I said, time does not matter. Time is just no, not here. I'll link my first video somewhere, probably here or here and down below. And yeah, I go through all of my system and how I've set it up and how it works. So I would recommend watching that if you have no idea what I'm talking about. So in February, these were my final stats. Vices was 5 because I was ill and I did nothing really. Spirit was 15. Anaya was 15 as well. Hermit was 20, obviously because I was working really hard on my project. Cottage and Charisma were both 5, and my side quests I got 80. I did not complete any of my main quests in February, but that is okay. Let's do March. Obviously, I've been quite ill. Even though I've been quite ill and I've not been exercising and stuff, I have been walking a lot, so I'm gonna give myself 10. Spirit, I'm gonna give myself 20 because I've been doing really well with that, and same for Anaya because my spiritual practice and my self-care has really taken central stage this month, and I am very happy about that. I am also gonna give myself 20 for Hermit because I finished draft 2 and I submitted to RefPit. Give myself 10 and I'm gonna give myself 0. I'm gonna give myself 10 in Cottage and 0 in Charisma because my social life non-existent this month. For my side quests, I'm gonna give myself 90. And I say give myself, in my quarterly page I have certain things that I wanted to do in March that I have done, and I got 50 points from those. And then submitting to RefPit gave me an extra 40. Oh shit. I just hit myself on the tripod. That's great. I'm doing great. Oh my god. Yeah, anyway, submitting to RefPit gave me an extra 40. So there's that. 60, 70, so 170. Let's go through my level, character level. I'm gonna have to tilt this a bit, but anyway, as you can see, I reached level 26 in February, so we're doing really well, to be fair. for only being 3 months in. So 170. So each one of these squares is 10. So let's do, this is 100, 20, 40, 60, and 70. So up to here. So there we go. Even though I only leveled up one level, I am really happy considering how busy I've been this month and how, you know, with all being sick. I know I keep saying it, but it is what it is. With being ill and stuff, I'm more than happy that this is going up still. You know, I'm still making progress, even if it's not as much as other months. Any progress is good in my page, and I don't care what anyone else has to say about it. I'm gonna put that there so that it doesn't transfer. Do I have to show you anything else from here? Oh yes, of course. Ta-da. So obviously we had Ostara last week, and this is my page for it. You're welcome. I'm not sure if this would be interesting to people or not, but anyway, these are the 2 oils that I did, and I call them my magical oils because we all need a little bit of whimsy in life. And these are the 3 cards that I got. This one is from my own oracle deck that I designed and drew based on my favorite goddess. So you can take a guess in the comments about who she is. I mean, technically the month is not done, but I am going to fill this in to mark that I've done my personal curriculum for March, because I have. But yeah, there we have it, my little catch up. I feel like a lot has happened and not at the same time because I was ill. I was sick. I don't know why I said it that way. But it's been good overall, and hopefully Q2 will bring a lot more writing blogs, and I do have a project that I think will be the next one that I might be starting soon, before RefPit gets announced. Or like a little break from the cozy fantasy, but we'll see about that. I'm not making any promises. But thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed. Please leave me a pink flower in the comments if you made it this far, and I hope you have a wonderful writing time and that you're taking care of yourself, and I'll see you next time. Bye.